Hey, if you're interested in buying a home in League City, we are going to be discussing everything that makes DRB Homes such a great builder for you today and everything that you're going to love about Westland Ranch, this high amenity community located here in League City. So, Alejandra, thanks for having us out. Could you tell me a little bit more about DRB Homes, kind of the name and y'all's presence here in the area?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for coming. We're happy to have you guys here in our beautiful model home. So DRB in Brightland Homes, we used to be formerly Brightland Homes. We recently transitioned into the DRB name.
Okay.
But essentially, it's still the same team, the same quality, same people, just with a lot more resources and backed up by one of the nation's largest builders.
Okay, perfect. So Brightland Homes, is there any other builders that were pulled into that?
Yeah, so are you familiar with Guillen Homes?
Yeah, Guillen Homes.
Yes,
Okay.
so Guillen Homes was around for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And about 5 years ago, I would say Guillen Homes, along with DRB Homes and a couple other builders across the nation, they were all bought by one big parent company.
Okay.
So for the time being, it made sense having different names all across the nation. Yeah. But then I guess we all came to the conclusion that it's better to just have one name, right? Stronger team. So we decided to just go all under the DRB group.
Okay. Yeah, and I think a lot of people here in the Houston area, the greater Houston area, they're familiar with Guillen Homes. They're familiar with Brightland Homes. So they could expect probably the same product from DRB Homes.
Oh, absolutely. 1000%. Again, maybe not even the same, maybe probably a better product.
Better product. There you go.
It's like I said, same team, same quality, same builder, essentially, just a different name. But backed up with a lot more support.
Okay, perfect. No, and I think that is just something that, some people, when there's a name change, they're like, well, I've never heard of this builder. Are they some overnight, builder? Is this like a brand new builder? But no, it's a builder that's been around for over 30 years building here in the area. They just have a new name. So a similar product or better product,
correct.
New name.
Exactly, perfect. Yes. It's mainly just the name is new in probably the Houston, Texas market, but it's still backed up by, again, the DRB group, Brightland Homes, same quality as Guillen. So it's just, we're not newer, but better.
All right, I like that. Not newer, but better. So we are in Westland Ranch here in League City. Now, this is the west side of League City. But some people are not familiar with everything that's going on here. This is what I would consider a high amenity community, which are becoming much more frequent. So can you talk about why people are choosing to move into Westland Ranch?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the best community in League City. No, I mean, it's a fantastic community. It has a very strong community feel to it.
Right.
Great amenities, great schools. You have the Hayloft, which is our amenity center that I believe it opened some point in 2025. You have a resort-style pool. You have pickleball courts. You have a baseball or wiffle field.
Yeah.
Playgrounds, walking trails. The location's pretty convenient too. You have NASA pretty close.
Yeah.
The Johnson Space Center. What is it? Galveston Kima. So it's like there's a lot of things to do around, as well as jobs and medical energy. So there's a lot happening within League City. It's growing a lot. So it's the best time to join the west side of League City.
Yeah.
because it is expanding. Like the city, I don't know where they're finding all these places to keep building, but it keeps growing. So of course, the sooner that you get in, the better will be
Right,
in the
right.
long
No,
run.
and I love that you mentioned the connectivity. It's very close, about 35 to 40 minutes into downtown, a little bit less if you want to get into the med center or if you are working one of the plants along Galveston Bay. So very close in terms of connection to where you might be working. But then also, I mean, we're only about 30 minutes from the seawall here. You know, same for the distance to the Kemah Boardwalk. So that close proximity to all these great things is definitely got to be a draw, I would imagine. But you mentioned something about the hayloft, and the people watching are probably not familiar with all of the amenities. So, what exactly is the hayloft?
So it's essentially just like our a rec center for like our residents.
Okay.
Where you have, yes, your community center
Right.
essentially.
Okay. So the community center is, and then are all of the community or all of the amenities there at the hayloft area, or are there amenities anywhere else in the community?
At the time, that's where they're located.
Okay.
Not sure if they're planning on adding different. I mean, aside from like all the walking trails that you have all
Right.
around, but they're all like in the same vicinity.
Okay.
But as the community keeps growing, could be possible that they add different or any additional.
Yeah, like maybe little playgrounds or something else around.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Probably not going to have other pools going
You never
in.
know.
You know, there is still more land in the surrounding area. Do you know why they call it the hayloft at all?
No, please. Do you?
I would just imagine because most of these fields were like hay fields and pastures. Like, you know, this wasn't really like farmland in terms of growing crops. It was more of like cow pastures and things like that. So probably that.
I mean, yeah, because I mean,
cows need hay.
And how I like to describe Westland Ranch a little bit, it's kind of like a ranch themed serenity mixed with like coastal charm and like a little bit of like outer space influence. You know, you have all of that within one neighborhood, basically.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think that that's kind of a good name, Westland Ranch, west side of League City. It's land and ranch, you know, because it was primarily like cattle ranches. Yeah. No, so I think that's pretty fitting. Okay, so I mean, you've got the pool, you've got the wiffle ball courts, wiffle ball field, pickleball courts, playground.
The most adorable playground for sure.
Yeah,
I wish like adorable. I could like.
Kind of makes you want to be a kid a little bit,
or
right?
Like go and like film over there and show it.
Yeah, no, and we're going to show you that because they have an amazing playground for kids, and that's one of the great things is that you're not going to have to leave your community if you want time outside. You can go on the walking trails. You can go and take your kids to this amazing playground that you're going to get to see. And then they've got the community center, which I would imagine that you also probably can reserve some space over there if you want to have events. Right. So, yeah, if you wanted to have events or birthday parties or any kind of parties, you could reserve that space and then it's right here in your backyard. So, no, I think that, you know, these weren't as common 10, 15, 20 years ago, but neighborhoods like this are becoming a lot more common.
Not all of them have all of these like amenities, you know?
Right.
And it's not like anyone can make use of them. Like you have, especially for like the hayloft, like you have to be a resident to like access and whatnot. And it's also really neat because Westland Ranch is very, again, like I was mentioning, there's a very strong community feel. They're very involved with like League City in general, like residents, they'll get like monthly or seasonal, like I guess calendar invites in a way for like their kids, right? If they want to sign them up for like a soccer team or football team, baseball team, or any events that are going on within like the city, not just Westland Ranch.
Right.
Everyone is very like involved, so there's a lot of options.
That's good
for anything like adults, young adults, kids, families to take advantage of.
That's awesome. And no, you're right though. That's, you know, these things that we talked about with the amenities that are offered here in this community, that's not something that you're going to get in most of these older neighborhoods. Now, those still have an appeal for some people that want to be in those communities. But if you want something that, you know, if you have a growing family or you do want to take part and some of the amenities offered, you've got to come and check out Westland Ranch. So no, I really like that you mentioned all of that.
Of course.
Now, I was going to ask, what schools are we actually zoned to here?
CCISD, so Clear
Okay.
Creek ISD.
All right, Clear Creek ISD. Now, do you know where the closest elementary is? There an elementary school in Westland Ranch or Westland Ranch adjacent?
So there will be an actual 2 schools within the community.
Wow. Yeah.
It's still in the works.
Right.
But it'll be an elementary, and I'll have to get confirmation on the other school. But there will be 2 schools within the community.
Perfect.
Which it makes it even more convenient for families, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so planned elementary school here in the community. So, whenever that happens, usually we do see some prices come up. So if you want to take advantage before that happens, you might want to get in sooner rather than later. Okay, so we've talked about your company, DRB Homes, and the amenities offered in this great neighborhood. What homes do you specifically have available right now in terms of inventory, what is available, and then also what are our options for building a home?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I'll just add this. I think it's one of the beautiful things of DRB Homes in Westland Ranch is that we offer options for people that need to move 2 weeks ago and people that need to move 2 seasons from now, basically.
Yeah.
So with our inventory, I currently have 5 one-story homes available. Starting, you have anywhere from 3-bed, 2-bath to 4-bed, 3-bath, and a study. Square foot ranging from the 1850 to the 2200. Now price-wise, you're looking at starting at $375. Up to currently my highest one would be at $409,990.
Oh wow! Yeah, those are great prices.
Yeah, we recently just kind of modified our pricing just for the new year. Also, being that we're the newest builder with the 50-foot product in the community. So definitely the best time for people to take advantage of the pricing, right? It's not gonna last long.
No, and I mean inventory homes never last long. So you have 5 one-stories available, and that's a good thing to mention because sometimes when we talk about inventory and different sizes of the homes, we're not clear on whether or not it's a 1-story, 2-story, and there's a lot of people that would prefer just a more spread out 1-story home versus a 2-story. And these are all on the 50-foot product, you said?
Correct, yes. So all of our homes in Westland Ranch would be on our 50-foot product.
Okay, great.
I mean, 50-foot lot.
Yeah, no. So in the when we say 50-foot product, 60-foot product, something like that, we're talking about the lot frontage. So that determines how big the front of the lot is that the home is built on. And that's a good size, lot that you would want for that size home. 1,800 to 2,200 square feet, 3 or 4 bedroom option with the study. I like the study option because there's so many people that are working from home nowadays, or even if they don't work exclusively from home, they want somewhere that they can have some privacy.
Of course. A kid's room, a game room.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, open concepts are great, but at the same time, I mean, the whole home can't be open. You need a little bit of separation in some areas. So it's great that you have that option for people interested. Do you have any other inventory homes or is it just those 5?
No, currently it's just those. My 2 stories have all been closed.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to the home buyers.
Yeah.
So currently we only have 1-story options. But it's pretty neat because they're all different. Some of them could be the same floor plan, but they're all structurally different. Different options and designs. So people who are looking for, again, a 4-bedroom, you have different types of 4 bedrooms that you can look into. For example.
No, that's good. And we'll get a little bit more into color palettes, what options are available and stuff. But so all of those homes are available to move in now?
Yesterday, 2 weeks ago.
Yesterday, 2 weeks ago. Perfect.
Yeah, they're completed. Quick move-ins, how we refer to them essentially.
Okay, good. Now, for your ground up construction, how long is it taking if somebody comes in and puts a contract in today? What's it gonna? Is it gonna take 4 months, 6 months? How long are we looking at?
So it can vary. I always like setting just an expectation of 6 months.
Right.
Sometimes it's done sooner, but it's just easier for us to finish sooner, right?
Right.
And not have to like push timelines.
Yeah.
So 6 months probably to be on the safe side.
Okay.
But there's times that it could be done sooner. 4 months, I don't think it would be realistic with our product. So it could be anywhere from the 5 to 6 month
Okay. 5 to 6
time
months.
frame.
Yeah. Well, it's good for people to know, how long it's going to take to complete it. Of course, weather is a big determining factor here. We have sometimes very rainy winters or summers, and other times we have very dry times. And so, it's hard to predict, especially a coastal community like this, whether or not we're going to have wet seasons or dry seasons.
Or
But
supply chain delays or
yeah, have y'all seen any supply chain delays recently?
no. No. Things have been pretty steady. I
Yeah.
mean, aside from like you mentioned, like maybe a small like weather delay or
Yeah.
whatnot, but nothing detrimental, thankfully.
Yeah. And these homes are built in stages. So, depending on what stage it's at and how that weather's operating determines whether or not they're moving to the next stage. Because I'm sure that you want to make sure that you're doing everything right to
Oh,
to
absolutely. I
build the
want
home
to and we
right.
have to, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience about, you know, actually the difference between buying one of your inventory homes and buying one of your ground up lots, a lot that they can choose everything? What are some of the things that people would need to know?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, they're both great options just depending on what the buyer, whatever fits their needs at the time. With when building from the ground up, you get to pick your floor plan, tailor it your way. There's structural options available per plan
Right.
that the buyer is able to choose if they want to. They can choose their exterior, their elevation, meaning like the face of their home, the brick color, stone,
Right.
everything basically on the outside. They're essentially able to pick. They can pick what lot they want to build on if it's available.
Right.
And then they get to go to our amazing design center where they have tons of options for design features and fixtures like flooring, countertops, hardware. Basically,
Right.
it's probably like a toy store for like homes or design.
Yeah. And so is everything customizable with your builder? Like flooring, countertops, backsplash, any appliances or cabinetry differences? Because I noticed we've got the full ceiling height cabinets here
Yeah,
in this
the
home.
upper stack.
Not every builder's offering that.
Mhm.
So is that something that everybody can pick if they want?
Yeah, of course. And there's, I wouldn't say like everything. Everything is custom or it's able to be customized. Depends on the plan or what exactly you're trying to customize, or mainly structurally. But with design, yeah, basically your flooring, like you said, backsplash, wood floors, tile, ceiling heights, pendant lights, fixtures,
Wow.
type of doors. Basically, I guess maybe not all, but close to all of it. They have options to choose from.
Yeah.
We do have some options that are standard, so they're not required to
Right.
choose everything upgraded if they don't want to. We just like offering the choice for them to not fully customize their home, but at least like semi-custom.
Yeah, and they can customize
Personalize
most
it.
things. It sounds like. Now, do you have any standard? Now, you talked about kind of like a standard. Do you have your options possibly broken down into any sort of bracket, or is it just like, hey, this is what the home is going to come with at this price? Now you can choose whatever you want to add to or take away from that. How do y'all handle that?
A little bit. So the home basically, there's even with what we offer standard or included in the home, it's not just like one type of countertop or one type of flooring. There's not hundreds, but there's maybe like 3 or 4, just depending on the plan.
Okay.
or design availability, but they can still pick. Like standard wise, they can pick this color flooring or this color type of countertop. So essentially, we try to make it as much as we can so their home won't be like their neighbors, basically.
Right.
So
no, I like that. Well, because some of them will be like, oh, this is our bronze, this is our gold,
oh,
this
like
is our
packages.
silver. Yeah, that's what I was.
Oh yeah, no, we don't necessarily like offer. There could be like some like maybe appliance package or maybe some like fixture packages that we could offer, but when it comes to like the design, like colors and countertops, no, we like to let them choose kind of what they prefer.
Yeah, well, and some people, some builders, they don't really allow you to deviate from the options that they've already chosen. They're like, hey, pick option A, B, or C. But it sounds like one of the good things about DRB Homes is that if you come in, you could go in and pick everything that you want exactly the way that you want, and it doesn't have to fit what somebody else has determined for you.
Imagine, let's say you and I are gonna go buy plan C from some other builder. I'd be both separately, right? I want plan C, you want plan C. Then it turns out that we both want plan B interior package.
Yeah.
We're literally gonna have the same exact home.
Yeah.
Which is kind of...
Yeah, I recently was at somebody's home and they were telling me that their friend had bought the exact same home as them and the exact same option as them. The only difference was the furniture that they chose to. She was like, well, see, I've got the 75-inch TV and my girlfriend has the 85-inch TV. And I was like, so if I go over there, it's the exact same thing.
That's hilarious.
It was pretty funny. She was kind of mad at her friend a little bit.
Yeah,
she's like, she came over here, she saw my house, and she's like, I want that.
Like, yeah, that's hilarious.
So she said it's a little weird, like stranger. It's just a little. There's that old show or whatever. Yeah, it was weird walking into a mirror image of your home.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm sure it happens a lot when packages like that are offered.
Yeah. But it seems like it's less frequent here.
It's not free. I mean, unless someone, that would be a huge coincidence, right?
That would be.
Like just randomly built exactly the same, just.
Yeah. Well, some people like to, and you yourself, you may want to have a unique home. And if you want to have a unique home, you can do it with DRB Homes, right? You
even our inventory, it's not built standard. They all have like different upgrades and features. So it's not even like our inventory would look the same to another inventory of ours. So it's pretty neat that we kind of try to make them all unique.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that a lot. So one thing that I'd like to talk about is, are there any special incentives for buying one of those inventory homes that maybe is not offered on one of the lots? Or do you have any like financing incentives or any other special incentives for those inventory homes?
Yeah, of course. What do you mean by not offered on one of the lots?
Well, so like sometimes a builder might offer special incentives, financing incentives, and it doesn't have to be specific to inventory or lot in terms of a difference. But do you have any incentives if somebody was to? Do you have a preferred lender, your own lender? How does that work?
Yes, absolutely. Great question. So we, for the most part, try to have incentives and help our buyers, right? Like get to across the finish line. Right now, for my inventory, we're offering up to $20,000 flex cash incentive.
Okay.
So basically, that's $20,000 that they can use towards the price of the home, towards closing costs or rate buy downs, just a mix of all, kind of however they see fit.
Yeah.
For buyers that are more interested in maybe like a lower monthly payment or like the financing side of things, we also offer rate promos.
Okay.
Or rate incentives, which are significantly lower than the current market rate.
Right.
Just kind of depending on the type of loan or what the buyer's looking for, what option works best for them.
Right. Right.
Now on our build or to be built homes, we offer a 30,000 flex cash incentive.
Okay.
And that's again, that can be used towards upgrades, both structural and or design options.
Right.
Price, closing cost, again, just kind of how they see fit. They're able to use that 30.
Right.
And these incentives are offered when buyers decide to work with our approved lender,
Okay.
which is Brightland Mortgage. Now, they're not obligated to work with our approved lender, but honestly, I always recommended, or it seems to actually make things or the process a lot smoother since, I mean, we're all on the same team and the communication flows a lot better.
Right.
But it's not required. There's some different incentives that we can also offer if they wanted to work with a separate lender.
Right.
So we kind of try to, again, just offer choices to our buyers in terms of everything, really, from the homes to financing and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I love that. And you know, something that a lot of people don't know, may not know if they've never bought new construction, is that you know you could get that $20,000 or $30,000 by going with the preferred lender here in this situation. So no, I think that's great. I mean, who wouldn't want $30,000 in extra
I
upgrades?
wouldn't.
You know, I mean, that's $30,000.
Yeah, like imagine you go, you buy a home, and let's say you spend 20,000 in upgrades, right?
Yeah.
And it give or take, right? Some people spend a lot more, some people could spend less. But let's say you spend 20,000 with our incentive and you work with our approved lender. It's basically no cost for you, right?
Yeah.
Like you have 10,000 left that you could use for more upgrades if you wanted to, or closing costs,
Yeah.
or just kind of like how you see fit.
No, I mean I think that's great, and trying to make things more affordable nowadays is such an important thing. Even no, this isn't like an affordable. This isn't like affordable living necessarily, or like you know, this is a quality product, but anything to help that buyer to get more. You know, for the same price.
Of course, I
I
mean, they're
think is
putting
the
huge trust in us, right? It's a huge
yeah.
investment. So we're definitely going to try to accommodate them in whatever ways we can.
No, I love that. And then, so I was going to ask, are there, um, do you have a certain amount of money that, like, say somebody wants to do 60,000 in upgrades to the home? What is, let's talk about the down payment if somebody does no updates, and then also the down payment if somebody needs, you know, say $60,000 in upgrades on the contract. Can you talk about that a little
Yeah,
bit?
of course, like earnest money type
Yeah,
of
what's
thing.
the earnest money if somebody's doing no upgrades?
So so with our new construction or built from the ground up, earnest money can range depending again on the type of like purchase, if it's with our approved lender, or if it's a cash purchase, or if it's an investment, just depending. It can range anywhere from like 2,500 to 10, maybe 20,000, just kind of. And the 20 is more leaning towards like an investment opportunity.
Okay.
But so let's say someone is working with our approved lender, the earnest money is 2,500,
Okay.
and then there is a 10% deposit of any structural
Changes?
upgrades. Yes.
Okay.
So let's say they did $2,000 in upgrades, structural upgrades,
Right.
then it's 10% of that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's done at the time of contract.
Okay, perfect.
Now, when they go to the design center, which typically is arranged a couple days, business days after, like 2-3 business days after they sign the contract,
Right.
the design center, and depending on how much they spend there, it's a 25%
Okay.
deposit.
Yeah, no, and 25% is great because some builders will say they want 50% deposit. So, you know, if we're talking about $60,000 worth of upgrades, then you're only going to have to come up with about $15,000 to put down on that. So you can get into the home for the 2,500 plus the 10% on any structural, and then only an extra 25% of the total upgrades, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, but I will say it also has to make sense. Like if you spend 1/3 of the home's price on upgrades, which it's happened, then there might be like maybe an additional 20% on top. But just depending on how much upgrades. But typically, I mean, 60 shouldn't be a problem. But again, if you go a little bit over the top and spend, again, 1/3 or half of the price on the price of the home on upgrades, then there could be an additional deposit requirement. But standard, it's your earnest money, 10% on structural, and 25% on design.
Okay, perfect. And that you brought up a really good point about if you go to the design center and you go crazy on options and upgrades, the builder, I imagine the reason you're saying that sometimes they might require an additional amount on top of the 25% is because you might be moving into the area of over improving a property for the overall market value. And so that's something that, I can help to figure out with you whether or not those options and upgrades you're thinking about doing will be able to be recouped if you were to sell the home. Because of course you can spend as much money on as you want on a house, but you are the ones building it, and it's before you're expected to build it with those options and upgrades as the way that the buyer has chosen.
Of course.
And so if somebody over improves a property, hey, more power to you to make the home as beautiful as you want. But if for some reason you don't close,
imagine they change their mind.
I mean, sometimes people change their mind. Sometimes people can't sell their existing home, so then they can't buy your home. And then so the builder would be left with all of those options and upgrades that they put into that product. And so that's why they may require a little additional deposit.
Of course.
Just to give you a little bit more context about what she's saying. But no, I still think that threshold at 25%, as long as it falls within a certain range of the home's overall value, I think that's great, because some are asking for 50%.
Yeah.
And to put all that money down on these options and upgrades sometimes can be a little bit tight for people when we're talking about a home that's not going to be complete for 6 months. Right.
For sure.
So, I mean, and people are still going to have to sell their house. You still may have a house yourself to sell, and we've got to go through the process of getting that sold so you can buy one of your beautiful DRB homes.
Yeah, and honestly, it's also, I mean, we're there with our home buyers the entire way, right? So if they're going to go to the design center and spend a lot more than they should, I mean, they have my support, your support, even the lender support, or kind of like advice. At the end of the day, I mean, it's their decision, but we're also here to like kind of try to advise them if we think it might be a good idea or not a good idea. So especially if it's their first time building, right? So they might be like, oh, I want to add everything. But then that's kind of like where we come in and we're like, wait, we don't know if it's a good idea. We don't think it's a good idea. You can give them like your market experience or not, give mine. Same with the lender.
Yeah.
So we kind of work together to make sure the home buyer's interest is like the number one priority, basically.
Yeah. No, I love that. And thanks for wrapping that up perfectly. And so this is exactly why you should choose a great agent like myself and me and my team to help you, because we can actually help to streamline this whole process with the builder. I mean, Alejandra is the expert for everything DRB homes, and then I'm going to be your expert to make sure that everything makes sense for you, including whether or not you are going to resell this home at some point, because the fact is that most people do end up selling a home about every 7 to 10 years. And so we want to make sure that we position ourselves correctly, not just now, but for good long-term financial decisions. And then so DRB homes, some people don't understand how the relationship between builder and agent works. So have y'all already agreed to cover the commission that we're asking?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, we love you guys, honestly, and we truly appreciate like the relationships. So we definitely want to make sure that you guys are taken care of, because we wouldn't be able to do this without y'all.
Well, thank you.
Of course.
And so that means you get full representation, no extra out-of-pocket costs. You have 2 great people helping you to make sure that whether or not you're selling a home and then buying one of her homes, or you just need to discuss anything about the market, the finances, taxes, insurance. We can handle everything for you, working together. And so I love that. And thank you so much. I
Absolutely.
appreciate working with a great builder like DRB Homes. And in that way, there's no out of pocket cost to you to use our services. Thank you so much for watching this interview with Alejandra here at DRB Homes. I appreciate you having us out.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. I look forward to working with you, and to anyone that's interested in our beautiful community here in Westland Ranch and our product. We're more than happy to help you and your family get into a home. Thank you so much.
Thank you.